So this lab is called the BLC 592 lab. So this is also called advanced programming lab. So in your 5th semester, I am considering the Java programming, and in your you can say even semester, 6th semester, you will handle some sort of database management system lab. Okay, that will be based on the Oracle or other any database language. So what is Java? At the starting, just I am telling you about the Java. What is the Java? Because in the Viva, we will ask such type of basic questions. Okay. So Java, you are already aware that it is developed by the James Gosling. Okay. It is also a high level language like the C, C++. Okay. C++, that is the object oriented programming language. So similar to that C++, this is also okay. So whenever we are going to write any program, that program is called the source program, and we always write or use to write the source program, we use always high level language, because to write any program in the high level language or using high level language, it is easy for the user, okay, or the programmer. So the programmer can easily write the programs using the high level language. Okay, so Java is simple language. These are few characteristics of the Java language. So first, it is developed by the James Gosling. Java is a high level language. It is simple language. Okay, it is very simple language. So Java is a general purpose language. Java is write once, run anywhere. Okay, it is similar to C and C++. Okay, we use approximate the similar library. Java is a object oriented language like C++. Okay, C++ is also called the OOP. Now what is not a Java? What is not a Java? Java is not a JavaScript. Okay, Java is not an operating system. So we cannot say, if anybody asks Java is a programming language or the system software, so many of the persons, they are not aware what is the Java. Okay, so Java is not a system software. It is, we cannot say it is an operating system, so it is a language. So Java is not just for internet. We can write all programs. It is object oriented programming based. We can write all programs, so it is not used only for the internet. Okay, object oriented programming follow three principles, that is called the pi concept. So what are those three principles? First is called the polymorphism, second is called the inheritance, and third one is called the encapsulation. So we can say that in combination it is called the pi concept. So pi concept, what is the P? Polymorphism, I inheritance, E encapsulation. So at the end, we will discuss and emphasize or concentrate on each polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation. But first we will start the basics of the Java. What is the basics of the Java? So what are the features of the Java? Platform independent programming language. Okay, this is called the platform independent programming language, means same program can run on different operating system. Okay, there is no need to update those programs like the C or C++, because if we will write the C program, then if we are going to run on another machine, if we will use other machine, then there is a need arise to update that program. Okay, but in this case, it is platform independent programming language. So in the Viva, these are the Viva based questions. Okay, so we can ask such type of questions. whether it is a platform independent programming language or dependent. So platform independent programming language, the Java is platform independent programming language, means we can run any program on every platform, on any, we can say, operating system. Okay, so Java is a secure language, means no one get its source code. In short, it doesn't get hacked, so nobody can hack. Okay, so it is secure. So Java is called the secure. Nowadays we are using mostly to write the program or to develop various softwares. So that various softwares are written in the form of Java. It has a vast library. Okay, so each and every language has its own library. C has its own library. C++ has its own library. So we use the same compiler, Turbo C / C++. Okay, so that we can run the same programs. Either we can write in the C or C++, but we can use the same compiler. So like the C and C++, it has a vast library of predefined objects and operations. So there are the predefined objects, various predefined objects and operations, similar to the C and C++, because it also contains the library, and there are number of, you can say, keywords, identifiers, and other operators, okay, that are already inbuilt. We can say we can found in the library of the C or C++. Okay, so similar to the C and C++, it also has the vast library of the predefined objects and operations. Okay, so other features of the Java has some interesting features. First is called the automatic type checking. Okay, type checking, you are already aware. What is the type checking? Whenever we are going to do the semantic action, okay, whenever we are going to take the semantic action, then we apply the type checking. So that is called the automatic type checking. What is the type checking? In this case, the compiler scans whole the program, okay, and breaks into the different tokens. So the Java compiler also check or scan your source program in the same manner as in case of the C or C++. Okay. So the one of the feature of the Java is automatic type checking. Okay. Another, automatic garbage collection. Okay, if we are going to obsolete any keyword we are not using, or we are going to write extra keywords, or we are defining those identifiers which we are not using in the program, we have already declared some type of identifiers or variables but we are not using. So it has one of the good features that those unidentified or undefined, we can say, identifiers or the variable, it will be automatically collected by the compiler and store into the garbage collection. Okay, there is a one folder in which, or we can say sort of memory, temporary memory, in which such type of activities has been stored. Another feature is simplified network access. Okay, so here, because these have the connectivity, here each and every word have the connectivity. This is also called the sort of structured programming, because it is based on the object oriented programming. So we can say that simplified network access, so we can access easily from the library, or whenever we are going to write any source program, then we can easily access any keyword or any operator or everything, okay, from the source program. Multi-threading, it has the facility of the multi-threading. Okay, so whenever we will write such type of program, then we can see that what is the type checking, what is the garbage collection, network access, and multi-threading. Okay, so just I am considering here, this is one of the example. Suppose we are going to print a string. Okay, so what is the way? Here we will define a class. Here the class is example. Okay. So first we will define a class. So class, just I am considering here, suppose it is example. And now how we can proceed? First we will write, whenever we are going to write any program in the Java, then here we will define as public. Okay, public, static, void, main, and then arguments, string argument. Here we will write inside the main function. So similar, approximate similar to the, you can see C++. Okay, because in C++ always it is also the OOP, object oriented programming. So there we were using the class and so on, and also the public, such type of words. So here again we will use the same. Okay, so we can say that this is called the program body, and now we can write our program between these braces. Okay, so whatever the logic of the program, then we can indicate here. So first we will start, we will define a class, particular class, suppose here example. Then here we will declare public, static, okay, type of identifier here. So we will declare as public, okay, and then static, then void. You have already used this void main, okay, and these are the called the arguments inside the main braces, main function brackets. Now suppose you want to print here a string welcome to here LSO IT. Okay, just I am considering here we want to print a string. So first we will declare a class. Class we can considering here as example, and then we will start here the bracket,
the bracket
and then public,
and then
public static void main string arguments. Okay, and then whatever we want to print here, system.out.print. Okay, so far you have already written 1 and 2 program, program number first and program number second. So you have the idea to write the program because you have taken the program from the manual. Okay, I have checked your program. So most of the students have already been taken the help or assistance from the manual. So that you are already aware, whenever we are going to print, then we will write here as system.out.print, and this is the string whatever you want to print, and then followed by semicolon. So the first Java program, here we are going to define as class, then this is welcome. Okay, then here bracket will start. So this bracket indicating type all carefully and save it to a file named welcome.java. So here we will make a file as welcome.java. Okay, so type all carefully and save it to a file. So first we will open a new file by the name of welcome.java. Okay, and after that we will start to write our program. So type all carefully and save it to a file named welcome to Java. So here just we are considering that we are writing the program over this welcome. Suppose we want to print a string, then we are indicating as welcome. Okay, so we will make a file welcome.java. So this is the first program. Suppose for example, this is the command line /* like the C programming or the C++. These are called the command line. The welcome program here we are going to write illustrates a simple program displaying a message. Okay, * closing of the command line. Then we will write here public, static, void, main, string, and then arguments. We will start again from here and then write system.out.println, and then whatever we want to print, we will write inside these braces, that is within the inverted commas. So welcome to Java. Okay, and then we will do the closing of this one. okay, this, and the closing of the starting from the class. So this is the closing of that. Okay, so similarly, we will close our program and then we will run the program. Now, you can see here again what is the class. Okay, I have told about the welcome, this, how will you write, how will you make the file. Then here we declared welcome as a class. Then Java program source file .java contain definition of classes. Okay, whenever we will use .java, then it contain definition of classes. So it has we can define here a number of classes. Okay, and we can mention under the class this one welcome, for which we are going to write the program. Here we are writing welcome because just we want to print only this welcome to Java. So we named as welcome. Okay, so we will make a file welcome to Java under the class. So here we will write the class, and this is similar as you have seen preceding PPT. And again we will write public static void main string like this system.out.println welcome to Java. Okay, so this is the program. So first I told you about the welcome. You will create welcome.java under the class. Okay, so .java contain definition of class. Whenever you will put .java welcome.java, then it will create a file under the class, under this class. Okay, source file we can say the Java program source file, that is called the. Now come to the this braces. So this is called the curly braces pair. Okay, pair. Here we will start and the closing is this. So don't miss. Okay. So here I indicated this, that it is mandatory to write here this sign, to use this sign, closing sign of this. Okay. So these are called the curly braces pair. Enclose a block of code. Now between this we can write any code block or block of code. Here we are using welcome and defining under this class. So class welcome here. Okay, here class name is welcome because here we want to print this welcome to Java. Again you can see what is main here. Main, again we can say it is a, in the C programming it is called the main function. It indicates that execution of the program starts from here. Okay, execution starts from here. So curly braces pair enclose a block of code. Okay, so method we can say main. Main is, it is the main block. Okay, main block code. So that it is necessary to write main function here, main block code. It tells to the compiler that execution will start from here. Okay, so main, and then you have to put this braces, again the pair of braces, and between this you can write whatever you want to print. Okay, or block code, you can write any block code here. So you have understood about the class. Welcome is the file name, whatever you want to print. Again, you have to write public static void main and then argument within the braces. And then this is the command system.out. Always you have to write system.out.println. And then if you want to print any string, okay, within the braces, brackets, welcome to Java. Okay, so if these are the inverted commas, within the inverted commas, you can indicate whatever you want to print. Okay, so this is one of the string you want to print. Now you can see these are called the comment line. Okay, so the program starts from here, class welcome this, and these are called the comments line. Just the comments line makes the program beautiful and makes the program user friendly, so that other programmer can understand. So the welcome program illustrates a simple program displaying a message. It explains to you what happens. I am telling that comment line. Okay. So you can write, it is not necessary, it is not mandatory. Just I am mentioning here this as a comment lines because that you can beautify your program so that any other programmer or the user can understand what you are going to do. So the first Java program here you have already seen. Just I am again and again same thing. So what are the different functions here? What this slash and star indicating class welcome again starting slash star and closing star slash. Okay, so these are called the pair encloses a comment block. So this is called the comment block. Okay, so this sign is starting of the comment line and closing of the comment line. So it is necessary to mention here. Okay. Now again you can see what is the public static void main string argument and then system.out println welcome to Java. So this is method of the class welcome named main. Okay, so main here again it is a function because you are going to indicate that the execution is going to start from here and whatever you want to print as a string you want to print, then you have to write here system.out.println. It is a sort of command, or we can say that inbuilt in the library of the Java, so that it will print this welcome to Java within inverted commas. Okay. Now again you can see this is the starting and closing here pair of parentheses you are using. The same program I am writing again and again, but I am telling each and every character about the each and every character. I told you about the class, what is the class, what is welcome, welcome. You can write anything. Okay, forward you are going to create the new file. And then these are the comments line. Just you are going to beautify your program. Again, you are writing here public static void main like this. So I told regarding the what is this main function and what is the bracket, what are the different comments line. Okay, these comments line already you know ignored by the compiler. And what are this? There must be a pair of parentheses following all method names. So again we are considering this type of parenthesis. Okay, what is this? There must be a pair of parentheses following all method names. So here we will mention the method name. This is the main function, and whatever we are going to do, we have to mention this. Now what is the static? Static, it is a keyword. The static keyword before a method of definition indicates this is a class method. Okay, it is a sort of class static. Okay, so it is a class method static and it is also a keyword. You are already aware by the such type of words because you have studied the C or the C++. So there are few words that is called the keywords. In C programming, you are already aware that you have used 32 keywords. So similarly in this programming language also. So static is a keyword. Okay. And it indicates this is a class method. Okay. So it is one of the class method. What is the public? This method is a public one. Others can call me. Okay. This is called the public. Now we can call from here. So we always mention as a public. Okay, this method is a public one. Others can call it. Now public static void main. So the standard property of the main method, we can say main function method. So we will mention here as a public static void main. Okay, so we will write in this way, or we can say that we will define in this way: public static void main, and then arguments will come inside the parenthesis. and then we will write whatever we want the output. System.out.println and the string we want to print. Okay, now you can see system.out.println within double inverted commas here, welcome to Java. So system.out.println, this is a statement. Okay, this is called the statement, or we can say instruction to display a message. So whenever we want to display any message, okay, there in C programming, what we are using there? Tell me, any idea?
Printf, sir.
What thing we were writing there? Printf. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Only printf. But here we will write system.out.println. Okay, welcome to Java. So this is called the statement or the instruction to display a message. Whenever we want to display any message, then we will write this grammar. Okay, this is a function. Now this is the closing. You know already semicolon you have used during writing the program after finishing of any statement. Okay, so system.out.println, or then within bracket double inverted whatever you want to write here within the parenthesis, and then followed by semicolon, and then brackets starting bracket closing of the starting bracket, and then closing of the main bracket, main function bracket. Okay, now how to ask the computer to act according to the instructions. So how to ask the computer to act according to the instructions in this program. Now class welcome, again the same program. The welcome program illustrates a simple program displaying a message, public static void main string, then arguments system.out println welcome to Java. So this is, you can say, the first program, and now you are aware why what is the class and what you are going to define under this class. Just you have defined this string name only. Okay, suppose this is the main keyword, main string you want to print, then just for the simplicity, so that you can recall easily the file name, you are putting the name here as welcome. Just you are doing the nomenclature as welcome. Okay, because you want to print this string so that you can recall easily. Okay, so that you are writing here welcome. So this is the very simple one program, or we can say the starting program. So this is the first Java program. Change to the directory containing the file welcome.java. Suppose you are going to define, okay, the program name, any you are you can put the name of any file here, so that you can just consider .java. Okay, here you are just putting the name of the file welcome, and then extension of Java is .java. So you have to write here welcome.java. So change to the directory containing the file welcome to Java. Now type after changing the directory welcome to Java, then type Java welcome.java. Okay, you have to type Java JAVAC welcome to Java. It generates a new file. Okay, whenever you will write this Java welcome to Java, then it generates a new file welcome.class. Okay, so as you will write this Java welcome.java, then it will generate a new file by the name of welcome.class. Then type without dot class. Okay, without dot class. Then you can write here Java welcome. Okay, so don't put dot class here. Okay, don't Java here. Then you can write as Java welcome. Okay, so you can type as Java and then file name. This is the file name. Okay, welcome. Just you are writing welcome only. Now what is the result of that program? You can see here, you will get the print. whatever you are going to print here, after writing the program system.out.println, then you will get as a output welcome to Java. Okay, so first you will create the file like this and then write Java welcome.java. Okay, this is the file name. You can write here anything, whatever as per your choice. Okay, then write Java and again file name, and then you can check the result. Okay, so you can compile and run and then check the result. Now, what are the different variables we will use in the Java? So, what are the different variables? You are already aware variables or value. Here, just we are considering that Nita's house. Okay, house value. This is Nita, and then what is the value? This is variable one. Okay, this is variable one. Just we can change or move or increase the number of houses. Okay, so this is called the value of this is called the variable. Okay, variable is just you can alter that or change the value of that one. Okay, so this is the name, you cannot change here, this is fixed one. And after that, if this is called the Nita's house, then this is variable. Okay, because this may change. Variable means you can alter as per time. So variable, what is the variable? You are already aware what is the variable. How will you define the variable? So you have already used number of variables in case of C programming. Now what are variables? Just again, as you have already used in C programming, integer, float, character, and here is boolean. Okay, so integer variable type is here given integer, float, character, boolean. What is the integer? Here integer value like 1, 2, and you can choose any negative value and so on. Okay, so you are here mentioning by a, and this is the integer value you are considering. This is float type. We can consider the decimal values under the float type values. Okay, so you want to indicate this 24.54, 87.678. Okay, so you can put here as float. So float will give you the decimal value. Similarly, character, suppose you want to print any string, your name, something else, so you can indicate or you will write as character. Okay, so the data type will be as character. Okay, maybe integer type, float type, character type. And another type of variable here is called the boolean. Okay, so boolean type value true or false. Okay, 0 or 1, true or false. So this is called the boolean. So this is again comes under the category of the here variables, and the values maybe you have already seen here. So declaring a variable, suppose you want to declare a variable, then what is the syntax? Syntax is just type here identifier, just write the identifier name and then followed by semicolon. Okay, type identifier means what is the data type. Okay, similarly here, what is the data type? You have to declare that identifier you are writing, then before the identifier write the data type. Okay, whether it is a character or float or integer or boolean. Okay, sometimes you can assign the value directly. Sometimes you can assign the values directly to the identifier. Or type identifier is equal to value. Just here you can write float, integer, okay, character, any type of identifier, and then you are going to assign the value directly. Okay, here also another variable, you are going to assign the value to that particular variable. So you will declare in this manner. Okay, for you here write the data type and then comma another variable, and at the end you have to put the semicolon. Okay, like this, integer a. Okay, a is the identifier, or you can write as integer means data type, a variable name you are going to assign directly value 10. Okay, you are not going to change, it is fixed one, but you are assigning directly here, assigning directly to the identifier. Similarly, in this case, if there are 1, 2, 3 or other number of variables, then you can assign A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30. So in this manner, you can assign the value directly to the number of variables, similar to the C or C++. Okay, so it is not so much difficult. Now we can see the data types. What are the different types of data? The integer data types. What is the data type here? We can choose byte, okay, short, integer, long. Okay, byte means 8-bit. Everything you have studied already in the second year. Okay, value range -128 to 127. Short data type 16-bit means 2 byte. Okay, the range is this defined already. Then integer type here 32 bits. Okay, long 64 bit. So these are the data type and the size and their value range. So this is the integer data type, and in the integer data type again you are going to divide byte, short, int, long. Okay, now the floating point type, यानी कि floating data type here. So data type may be float or double. Okay, float type 32 bits long means 4 bytes. Size is 4 bytes, so that it can store a string long up to 32 bits. Means it can contain the total number of characters as 32. Okay, if you are going to increase or enhancing the number of characters, then you can define it as double. Okay, so it may store up to 64 bits, so that you can store a number of strings in this. Okay, the total number of characters will be equal to 64. Now character data type here 16-bit long unsigned, value from you can store 0 to 65535. Okay, so this is 16-bit unsigned or Unicode characters. So the character data types we can write as char, char. Okay, so this is called the data types, and we can define in this way. Now special data types. In this case, special data types is called the Boolean. So Boolean is the special data types, and it may be true or false, 0 or 1. Okay. Another thing is reference, that is the address of an object. Okay. So these are the special data types we will use. One is the Boolean and another is the reference. So reference is what? Address of an object. Here we will use the address of the object, where we are going to store that particular object or the value of the object. Then we will indicate here address. Okay, so that is called the reference data type. So this comes under the category of the special data types. So we will use at the later stage. Okay, because at the starting just we are going to write very simple programs, so that till now you did not use. Now these are the default values: numeric 0, boolean false, reference null. Okay, so these are the default values already defined in the compiler. If we are going to define any numeric, data type is numeric, okay, nature is numeric, then by default it will consider 0. Okay, it will store 0 value. And by default, if we will write boolean, we are not mentioning anything, so by default it will indicate false. Okay, suppose we are going to write any program, and in that, suppose we forgot to indicate the conditions, then by default it will consider false. Okay, false value. And similarly, this is the special data type reference, then by default in this case it will consider as null. Okay, null values. So these are called the default values, which we will use whenever we are going to write the program in Java. Okay, now the operators. So we will use again the operators like the C programming. Assignment operator equal, you are already aware, assignment operator, assign value to a variable int a and then assignment type 10. Okay, here a assignment operator, then 10. So the 10 is assigning to a. Here identifier is a, variable is a, and data type is integer. Okay, so 10 value 10 will be assigned to a. Okay, a is the variable here. So this is called the assignment operator. Now arithmetic operator, you know properly: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Okay, plus, minus, star, slash, division, and percentage sign is called the modulus. That is the, here you will get the remainder. Okay, so these are the arithmetic operators here. Now this is a sort of demo of the arithmetic operators. How will you write the program on the operators? Okay, so just you have to declare here class as operators. Okay, so you have to declare as operators because you are using several operators here, so that for the simplicity for your memory you can write here as operators as a class. Okay, and now it is easy. You can create a new file as operators.java. Okay, and then write java. Okay, then operators.java, and then start to write your program. So class operators and then bracket, and again you have to write here public static void main. Okay, at the starting you have already seen public static void main and then string arguments here, whatever it be. It may be null or string argument, whatever it will come. Okay, now you can indicate as arithmetic using integers. Okay, here you are showing indicating that arithmetic using integer. Then you want to print a string as, then you have to write here system.out.println and then within inverted commas and braces integer arithmetic. Okay, then as a output you will get here. So what is the integer arithmetic? Here you are again going to declare different type of variables. So data types a, integer a, and directly you are assigning value 1 plus 1, integer b. Here you are assigning a star 3, and then integer c, b slash 4 means b division 4, integer d, c minus a. Okay, sort of expression here. So you are writing and assigning the value directly in the program. Now just you can mention here as a, in the continuation you can write public static void like this, and again you can write at the end here system.out.println as a equal then plus a. Okay, similarly system.out.println whatever you want to print here. Okay, a is equal to, here you are going to write plus a, means a is equal to a plus 1, you can also say this. Okay, so here you will get the value whatever the initial value of a and then addition of 1 here. Okay, similarly in case of b, similarly in case of c. Now here you are again declaring variable integer a, assigning, you are directly assigning the value, and directly you are writing system.println system this. Okay, so that whatever you will get the output value here as per need, as per the requirement, whatever you are doing logically. Okay, arithmetic using doubles. If you are here declaring the data type double, then the storage capability will enhance here and decimal capacity will increase. Okay, again we can see that whatever we want to print we can write in this way, or these are sort of expressions and just we are changing here the data type. Okay, as you will change the data type, then here the storage capability will increase or the decimal precision you can increase here. Okay, so here you are going to store your output in a more lengthy manner, in more decimal places, more precision just you are going to print. Okay, so in this manner you can print the values. So whatever it will come, you have already here and decided by declaring the data types by double, and you can see because just you are going to assign the expression directly. Okay, now you will write here like this command prompt. First you will go to the command prompt. Okay, DOS. Then whenever you will reach at the command prompt, just write C:/lsoit javaik, and this is the file name. First you will go to the command prompt, and after that you have to write lsoit javaik. Okay, and this is the file name. For simplicity, just you are indicating the various type of operators. So you are writing the file name as operators.java. Okay, then again click here enter, then you will get C:/lsoit java operators like this. Okay, and then you will get here the output. So just you can check the output here as just write java this file name, and then again you will get java, and then again as command prompt you will get this and write operators. Okay, this is the file name. As you will write, so you will get here the output because directly you are assigning the output there. So again you can come to the, as you will click the enter, then again you will come to the command prompt. Okay, and again you can check another for the another set. So another type of operators are called the increment operator. Again you can define under the class operators, and then bracket start to write public static like in the similar way as you have written in the preceding case, and then define here the data types and different types of identifiers whatever you want to involve, and then this is called the pre-increment. Okay, so this is you have already aware by such type of commands. T is equal to plus plus b, d is equal to plus plus a. So this is the pre-increment. Okay, you have already written a number of programs, and you are already aware by the library of the C programming. And again, whatever you want to print, you have to write system.out.println. Okay, and now in this way you can write and whatever, and followed by semicolon always. Okay, and then closing of brackets. Whenever you are going to end your program, then put the closing braces. Okay, so just we are mentioning here the name increment operator. This is the again comment line. You can say you can put the slash star and closing star slash, or you can write in this manner. Okay, so this is again for another name file operators too. Okay, now you can write this program and then you can run in the similar way. Okay, so there are various programs. You can check the different values, and you can change the data types, and then see what type of effect is coming on the output. And here just you are calculating the various values. B is equal to b plus 1, b plus plus b, b is equal to b plus 1, comma, c is equal to b, d is equal to a, like this. Okay, so here whatever you want to print the values, then you can check whether you are getting the same output as you are going to print you want. Okay, these are the closing braces at the end. So take care of this. Again, the decrement operator, in the similar way you can use the decrement operators. Now another type of operators are called the bitwise operator. So bitwise operator manipulates the bits within an integer, long, integer, or integer, character, and byte. Okay, so bitwise operator manipulate the bits within an integer. Suppose we have 42 byte value in binary, it will represented as a 00101010. So where each position represents the power of 2. Okay, you are already aware by the this number 00101010. Okay, it is equivalent to what? Because you have already studied the digital electronics. Okay, digital logic gates and etc. everything number system. So that these are called the bitwise operator. Now, how will you mention this, and how will you develop the equivalent of this 0010 this? Now you are already aware how it will change, and you will get equivalent binary value as 42. Okay, so this is the way to change the in the binary value. So this is 0 0 1 0 1 0. Okay. Now you can change in the binary value and it is coming. Now bitwise operators, different operators you are already aware: bitwise not, bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise exclusive or, bitwise and assignment, bitwise exclusive or assignment. Now these are the indications. So you have to use such type of sign. Okay, bitwise not, you will use this sign here, and again bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise exclusive or, bitwise and assignment, bitwise exclusive or assignment. So these are the standard sign here, symbols, so that you have to use during writing the program. Whenever you are using the bitwise operator, then you have to mention in the program during writing. So take care of this. So you must be aware by all types of what are the different data types, or what are the different bitwise operators or type of operator or classification of operators. Okay, and at the starting, how we will write the program. Okay, what is the printf command, or how we can print any string. So you must be aware by such type of commands. Okay. So how will you write very simple program in the Java? You have already seen. Okay, and how will you put the comment line? Why the compiler ignore the comment line? So these are the various questions which may ask during your Viva. Okay, so these are the very simple slides. Okay, I implemented this. These are very simple slides, and we are using since long. So these are very simple one, and with the help of these slides, you can understand how will you write the very starting the Java program. Okay, and here we can say that it is a very good slides here PPT, and with the help of this, you can even prepare for your Viva. Okay, and also I have provided you manual. So with the help of the manual, you can go through that manual, and there I implemented all the programs. So take the help of that manual and also try to write yourself. Okay, and try to run the program. So again, these are the various bitwise operators: A, B, A or B, A and B, A exclusive or not A. Okay, and now we are going to check here output, what type of output we will get. Okay, the value of A is this, B is this, then A or B. How we are getting A or B here, A and B. So just you can check with the help of the logic gates. Okay, what type of answer will come, and what the value will come of the A or B, or the A and B, A exclusive B and not A. Okay. Now relational operators, you have already studied about the relational operators. Determines the relationship that one operand has to the other. The outcome of these operations is a Boolean value, okay, true or false. So you are already aware by the relational operators. You have already used in the C programming. Okay. So relational operators are this: equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay. So take care of this. You must remember all such type of operators, because whenever we will ask during the Viva, then you say that I am not aware. Just I am asking relational operator, and you are telling the bitwise operator. Okay, so take care of this. Just go through all through the manual of the Java. Okay, and try to write very simple program first, and then proceed further. Now again the conditional statements, you are already aware. You have done each and everything. Okay, so the logic is same, no change at all. Nothing is changed in writing the program. You have to use the same syntax, same statements, same loops, same operator symbols, everything. Just a little bit change. In only suppose you want to print any string, then what type of, for the output, what type of command you will use here. So just there is a differentiation you can see here. Okay, so the conditional statements. Now the syntax: if condition, you can put the condition and then starting bracket, write statement 1, statement 2, again close this, else, again new condition here. Okay, so this is called the conditional statement. Okay, another one here you can use if there are more number of statements, then you can put in such a conditions. Okay, so the syntax will start if within bracket condition. Okay, this is the nested if. If there are more number of conditions, then you can use this if, then else, at the end else. Okay, so this is if else ladder, more number of condition, if, then else if, like that, and then at the end else. Okay, so this is called the if else ladder. If there are number of conditional or number of, we can say, condition arises, then we use this type of conditional statement. Now Boolean operators, and we can indicate like this: if A less than B, and you can see here C equal to D. Okay, so this is called the AND operation. So this indicates this condition. Okay, or is showing this condition if A is less than B, or C here equal to D. So such type of condition may arise, and then you have to use the Boolean operators. Okay, if there are more number of conditions, then you can use this like this. Okay. Now again, this is one of the program here, program to check whether A is greater than B. Okay, so you have to write class example2. Okay, public, you have to write the same thing as we have mentioned at the starting. Public static void main, and then string arguments. Integer here, just starting bracket, and then write integer A is equal to 9, integer B is equal to 8. Okay, just you are going to assign the values directly here. Okay, and then you want to print here system.out.println program start. Okay, now you can use condition if A is greater than B, then print A is greater. Okay, if A is greater than B, then write system.out.println, then A is greater, else another condition you can write. Okay, so in this manner you can proceed. Okay, so the same example, if A is greater than B, again you have to write like this. So for another condition you can use. Okay, at the end you have to write this. Just go on command prompt C, then write CD, change directory CD, and then write lsoit, and then again lsoit, and then write javax. Okay, and then what is the file name here? Is example. Okay, it is the file name example2. At the starting you have defined this under the class. Okay, so this is one of the file name example.java. Okay, then again here click enter, and then you will get this again command prompt lsoit this java example2. Okay, then program start. Here A is greater, whatever you want to print, this is the output. Okay, so in this manner you can see the output and you can run the program. So you have to change the command prompt. Now this is the again another program like that. Nested if conditional statement you can use here. So there are various conditions in example 3. So you can define under this. Okay, so there are various examples here. Now you can print the value system.out.println. Now you can again come to the command prompt and write like this javax example3.java and so on. Okay, now you can put whatever you are providing the input and then check the output. Okay, so again this is one of the example, and then you can check the output. Okay, so program of if else ladder. Now we are going to finish here. Okay, just I am stopping here.